Joining us here in Washington, Indiana Republican Congressman Jim Banks. Congressman, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Good to be here.
Okay, so Democrats maintain control of the Senate. We're still waiting to hear exactly what happens in the House. You heard the president there saying he sees a path for Democrats to hold the House as well. Let's look at that in the light of this. Wall Street Journal's editorial board says some 70% of voters Tuesday said they're unhappy with the state of the nation, with an unpopular president, 8% inflation, falling real incomes, rising crime, and chaos at the border. The GOP should have coasted, at least to a normal midterm victory. So, Congressman, what happened?
Well, first of all, this was a very disappointing outcome on election night, not the one that we expected. And there will be a lot of unpacking of the outcome for weeks to come. Did we have the wrong strategy? Why did our message not break through? Why did the voters not buy into the vision and the message that Republicans were selling? But the fact remains that Joe Biden is an enormously unpopular president, less than 40% approval rating. 80% of Americans believe this country is on the wrong track, and Republicans will win the majority. It will be a very slim majority, but we have an opportunity over the next 2 years to be the last line of defense to block the Biden agenda. And if we do that effectively and pass legislation that addresses the issues that the American people care about, bringing down inflation and gas prices, the border, the drug crisis in America, and the national security issues that keep America safe, I believe we can grow this slim majority into a much more healthier majority in the 2024 election.
But do you think any of the bills that you would pass that would have a Republican agenda and core principle will get past the president? First of all, you got to get past the Senate, but he's got a veto pen, too.
Yeah, well, we have a responsibility to do that. I mean, take inflation, for example, and energy production. Republicans said all along our top priority will be to make America energy independent again. And I think we can do that in a way, putting bills on the floor with consensus among Republicans, a Republican plan to do that, that I would hope Democrats would come along and vote for, too. And you put a bill on the desk of the president to bring down gas prices. I don't know how he could dare veto it. I don't know how he could prevent a bill from going into effect, legislation to bring down gas prices. That's what the American people are begging for.
They definitely want their gas prices to go down, but there are two different strategies and viewpoints on how to get there. So whether you can find common ground with Democrats, we'll see. But this gets to the point in an op-ed by Senator Mitt Romney this week. He said you should be about passing bills and trying to do things that work for the American people. He says the more tempting and historically more frequented road would be to pursue pointless investigations, messaging bills, threats, and government shutdowns. I mean, Republicans, a number of them, have been very clear they're interested in things like investigating Hunter Biden, the FBI, COVID, the withdrawal of Afghanistan. Where do you see your agenda going?
Well, oversight is a primary function of the Congress. And for the last 2 years, there has been no oversight of the Biden agenda and the Biden administration. So that has to be a focal point of every single committee in the Congress, especially in the House, under Republican control with Republican chairman and chairwoman. Take the House Armed Services Committee, for example. I'm a member of that committee. I served in Afghanistan. The debacle in Afghanistan no one has ever been held accountable. There's never been an investigation into the pullout of Afghanistan that cost the lives of 13 of our heroes. That means that the Congress did not do their job in providing that type of oversight. Oversight of the origins of COVID, the lockdowns, the closure of schools and the outcome of that. We've never had congressional oversight into any of those actions by the Biden administration. So I disagree strongly with Senator Romney. This will be a major priority of the House, and it's what the American people expect.
So how do you find that balance? Because he's suggesting that voters will punish you in 24 if it looks like you're just holding hearings all the time and not getting anything done, but you're really kind of hamstrung by the fact that much of what you would hope to accomplish won't get done, won't get past the president's desk. Do you run a risk in holding these hearings? Because I know there's another flank of the party that will say that's what we elected you to do, and we're going to punish you if you don't hold some of these hearings.
It's just a fact of the responsibility of the Congress to provide oversight. I believe that the American people, not just those on the right, they expect Congress to step up to the plate and provide that type of accountability. It's desperately needed, especially, again, if 80% of the American people are saying America is on the wrong track. They expect the Congress to hold the administration accountable for that and for their actions. And that's what we're going to do. Even in a slim Republican majority, we will still have the gavels of each of these committees, and oversight is a primary function.
Okay, so it turns now the conversation to these leadership elections. If the GOP does indeed take the House, you're running for one of the positions, which we'll talk about. But Leader McCarthy has now got a lot of folks publicly pushing back, conservatives who say they don't want to just give him their vote as Speaker. There's more to it. Here's Congressman Bob Good.
He's essentially had a 2-year audition where he had the exclusive opportunity to earn the vote of the conference to demonstrate that he was willing to fight against the Biden-Pelosi-Schumer agenda, and he failed to do that.
Okay, so what concessions do conservatives want from Kevin McCarthy before they'll vote for him for Speaker? Will you vote for him?
Well, I support Kevin McCarthy, and his experience is what we need right now. Remember, he's been the whip, he's been the majority leader, he's been the minority leader. Now he's going to be the Speaker, and we need someone like him who can pull the conference together. That being said, rank and file members want more of an opportunity, more of a seat at the table. They want to be heard. And when it comes to how complicated and challenging these next 2 years will be to get anything done, we need to listen to members all over the country. The Republican Party conference will be more diverse than ever before, from members on the right to the middle, diversity in many other healthy ways as well. So rank and file members want to be heard, and Leader McCarthy is working through that process with the rules changes. We'll have our rules conference meeting where we vote on the rules in the middle of this upcoming week, and that'll be an opportunity to make some of those changes.
So what about the Freedom Caucus folks and people like Bob Good who are speaking out saying, we don't think he got the job done for us. He caved on important things, and he's not going to get our vote.
Well, Leader McCarthy raised the most money that any leader has ever raised in the history of our party before, $500 million. He did his part to put us in a position to win the majority, and we're going to do that. Again, a disappointing, slim majority. But if we do what we say we're going to do, and if we are serious and we push the bold agenda that our conference is unified around, I believe we'll grow this majority in the 2024 election.
All right, let's talk 24 because it's already here. Former President Trump expected to make a big announcement on Tuesday. You have been an ally and supporter of his, but there's growing frustration from folks who say the candidates he backed, some of the far-right candidates in these Senate primaries, most of them lost their races. We've got Virginia Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears, who also campaigned for President Trump in 2020. She says this.
The voters have spoken, and they have said that they want a different leader. And a true leader understands when they have become a liability. A true leader understands that it's time to step off the stage, and the voters have given us that very clear message.
So she says it's time for a change. Voters gave you that message. The Washington Post says this: the big story of this election is the damage Trump has done and the price Republicans have paid for not standing up to him sooner. Is his announcement we expect on Tuesday a good or a bad thing for the GOP?
Well, I don't know if he's announcing this week or not, but and it's not a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that with the completion of the midterm election, now the 2024 presidential election is in front of us. Donald Trump remains a very popular figure in the Republican Party in each corner of the country. And remember, when he was on the ballot in 2016 and 2020, we won a lot more seats than when he wasn't on the ballot in 2018 and 2022.
But his picks had a rough time.
He also supported many candidates who won around the country too, but he wasn't on the ballot in 2022. And that's something to remember too. He supported many candidates who did win around the country as well. But the 2024 primary is in front of us. We're still unpacking what happened last Tuesday, trying to figure out where our party goes from here. And over the next couple of weeks, that will be our focus on Capitol Hill, is picking up the pieces and moving forward.
So will you support him, or will you wait to see who else potentially gets in?
Look, I believe that Donald Trump was a very effective president for our country. I believe he could be a very effective president for our country again. I'll save my endorsement for another place in time for the 2024 race. I am focused wholly on what happened on Tuesday and how our party moves forward on Capitol Hill.
All right, feel free to come here and let us know what you decide about 24. In the meantime, thank you for your service as a veteran on this Veterans Day weekend. We appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Sir. Congressman, thank you.